Okay, scholars, let's look at a common type of SAT problem involving algebra expressions and equations. Alright, so I'm just going to write it. So if x squared minus y squared is equal to 77 and x plus y is equal to 11, then what is the value of x minus y? Alright, so at first glance this looks really hard, and a lot of people that are even good at math, well, typical school math, what they'll do is they'll try to take this equation, they'll try to solve it for y, and then they'll take this value of y and plug it in over here and try to solve for x. Well, that's a nightmare. It takes so long, and you don't have that kind of time on the SAT. So here's what you should do. Alright, so anytime you see an expression like this, well, this is a difference of two perfect squares. And on the SAT, whenever you see something like that, the first thing you should do is just factor it. Alright, because 9 times out of 10, you'll be able to get a quick answer to the problem by looking at the factored form and looking at what they give you. Alright, so here they say that x plus y is equal to 11. Alright, well, here's x plus y. So that's equal to 11. And what are we trying to find out? What is x minus y? Well, hey, that's just this right here. So, some quantity, 11, times something else, which we don't know, is equal to 77. So what does that unknown quantity of x minus y have to be? Well, clearly, here, 11 times 7 is 77. So that's the value of x minus y. Here's another example that's kind of similar in the approach. Okay, so this is an algebra problem on the SAT. But this is a word problem, and we have to translate into symbols. So, if 5 times x is equal to x plus 5, what is 4 times x? Alright, so this seems kind of complicated, it's just confusing to read. Alright, but let's go slow. We're going to translate it into algebra, and we're going to see how we can use some math street smarts to solve this equation in a very efficient, elegant way. Alright, so here we go. If 5 times x, so right away we can just write 5x, is equal to, so equal sign, x plus 5. What is 4 times x? Alright? Now, you guys that are very good in school math, you might look at this equation and you might immediately rush to solve for x. Okay, but there's a much better way to do it. Just notice how you can get 4x, the quantity that you're trying to solve for, 4 times x, you can get that quantity just by subtracting x on both sides. Alright, so when you do that, you see that 4x is equal to 5. Okay, that's it. There's no need to solve for x by dividing by 4 somehow and saying x is 5 over 4. No, it's just crazy. Alright, you don't need to do that. Since the problem asked you to find 4 times x, you look at the equation you have and you say, is there any way I can manipulate that to get a 4x all by itself? And in this problem we've done it, and the answer is 5. Pretty easy.